becomes real and I can't blame them and the problem.
You are not a problem to be solved. There's nothing wrong with you. You're fine.
What would you do if the person you love walked away, not because they stopped loving you, but because of something you couldn't control? Something that made them question your future together. This story goes deeper than you expect, and it might just change how you see love. Today's story, Between Salt and Sugar, is a deeply emotional and relatable drama that explores love, heartbreak, self-worth, and the quiet battles people fight within themselves. At its core, it's not just about romance, it's about the kind of pain that lingers long after a relationship ends, and the courage it takes to open your heart again. The story begins with what looks like a stable, loving relationship. Two people who have been together for 2 years, comfortable with each other, seemingly building something real. But just like that, everything falls apart. And what makes it even more painful is that there's no betrayal, no cheating, no explosive argument. Instead, there's a quiet, devastating truth. The man decides to walk away, not because he doesn't care, but because he feels he cannot build a future on uncertainty. And that uncertainty is tied to something deeply personal. The woman he loves is dealing with a health condition that affects her chances of having children. Even though he once said it didn't matter, when faced with the reality of it, he chooses certainty over love. That moment hits hard because it reflects a painful truth about real life. Sometimes, people mean the promises they make until those promises are tested. And when reality sets in, not everyone is strong enough to stay. After the breakup, we see the emotional toll it takes on her. She begins to internalize everything, blaming herself, questioning her worth, and slowly convincing herself that she is the problem. It's a painful place to be, feeling like you are not enough because of something you cannot change. But one of the strongest parts of this story is the presence of her friend, who refuses to let her sink completely. At one point, she reminds her of something powerful, that she is not a problem to be fixed. And that moment stands out because it challenges a belief so many people carry, that they must be perfect to be loved. Just when things feel heavy and uncertain, the story introduces someone new. Their first meeting isn't romantic or magical. In fact, it's awkward and a little tense. Their encounter happens during an ordinary moment, one that doesn't seem important at first. But sometimes, the most unexpected moments lead to the most meaningful connections. What makes this new character different is how he sees her. Instead of focusing on her past or her struggles, he sees her as she is in the present. There's a calm confidence about him and a sincerity that slowly begins to break through her defenses. As they begin to interact more, the tone of the story shifts. There's humor, there's playfulness, and there's a sense of ease that wasn't there before. Their conversations feel natural, sometimes teasing, sometimes deep, but always genuine. And for the first time in a while, she begins to smile without forcing it. What stands out about him is his honesty. He doesn't play games or send mixed signals. He says what he feels, clearly and directly. At one point, he openly admits that he hasn't been able to stop thinking about her. And while that kind of boldness might seem simple, it carries a lot of weight, especially for someone who has been hurt before. But even as something new begins to grow, she struggles internally. She holds back, not because she doesn't feel anything, but because she's afraid. Afraid of getting hurt again. Afraid of being rejected for the same reason. Afraid that history might repeat itself. And that fear feels real. Because healing doesn't happen overnight. Learning to trust again takes time, especially when your confidence has been shaken so deeply. The story captures this beautifully, showing that love after heartbreak is not just about finding someone new, it's about rediscovering yourself. Still, their connection continues to grow through late night conversations, shared laughter, and small thoughtful moments. Something meaningful begins to take shape. Even our friend notices the change in her, the way she starts to open up, the way her energy softens, the way hope slowly returns. What makes this story stand out is how grounded it feels. The characters are not perfect. They make mistakes, they hesitate, they struggle, but that's exactly what makes them relatable. The dialogue feels natural, the emotions feel raw, and nothing feels forced or exaggerated. At its heart, the story explores powerful things. It reminds us that our worth is not defined by our limitations. It challenges the idea that love must come with guarantees, and it highlights the importance of emotional healing, of allowing yourself to be vulnerable again, even when it's scary. It also touches on societal pressures, especially the expectations placed on women when it comes to relationships and starting a family. It shows how those pressures can affect self-esteem and decision-making, and how important it is to separate your identity from those expectations. By the time you reach the end, the story leaves you with important questions. Can someone truly accept love if they don't feel whole within themselves? And can love exist without certainty? This is more than just a romantic story. It's a journey of healing, self-discovery, and learning to believe in love again, even when it feels risky. If you enjoy stories that reflect real life struggles, emotions, and relationships, then this is definitely one to watch. It's the kind of story that stays with you, not because it's dramatic, but because it feels real. Thank you so much for watching and spending your time with me. I truly appreciate your support. If this story touched you and you want to experience the full emotional journey, make sure you head over to Bolaji Ogunmola TV on YouTube to watch the complete movie. Trust me, it's worth every minute. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more amazing story reviews. See you in the next video.